Side note, we do not argue in life.
What do you mean?
Unless we're working together.
We argue about that. Like, that's what we argue about. Like,
clashes.
now. We'll argue about that now. But it's so crazy because even looking back, one of the things that made me fall in love with him was definitely realizing that for the first time, I think, ever in my love life, I met somebody that knew, like, the way I grew up. And what I mean by that is, like, my church life, that I was like raised Pentecostal, that I grew up singing coritos. You need to imagine, do you remember when I lived?
Tell somebody who doesn't know what coritos is.
Okay, coritos are pretty much like old school hymns, but they're in Spanish. They're so old that they don't even have publishing. Like, there's no writers on them. They're just songs that kind of repeat over and over. And if you grew up in a Latino Pentecostal church, they are like the classics. Like, everyone knows to sing them. They kind of end up being in medley form. You go from one song to another, and low-key people be like, ah, like you went to that second song. And I grew up singing coritos my whole life. And I remember being on the balcony at my apartment across from the Grove, and like we were sitting there. I don't know what was happening.
You were doing
some kind of a party or something. And I don't know what corito I started singing. What song was it?
No hay Dios, I think.
No hay Dios tan grande como tú. And you literally said, no lo hay, no lo hay. And I was like, wait a second, what? I'm like, how do you know coritos?
Because
like,
Iz is not Latino, which people might think he
exactly.
is.
Guys, you're messing up my
sorry.
my what honorary Puerto Rican status that I've been given.
But I'm not gonna lie, when I first met Israel, I thought he was Puerto Rican. First of all, the name Israel is super common in Puerto Rico. So I was like, oh, he's definitely Latino of some sort. And he sings in Spanish, and like, you get the point. With all that being said, he literally grew up in a Latino community, in a Latino church, so they sung the songs.
In a white family.
Yeah. So I'm a black kid, white family. All my friends were Hispanic. All my friends were Mexican.
Were you adopted?
By my stepfather, I was. But I was raised with my mother. My mother's white.
Your mother's white.
My father was black. My mother's still white. It's amazing.
Wow, she's holding on to that.
Holding on.
She makes some bomb
food.
She makes bomb Mexican food. She's
like,
from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Got it. So a little bit of Latino influence.
Always was around. So when I think that's really when we fell in love. When we started harmonizing on the porch, she's like, okay, that's my guy.
But I know that sounds really funny, but imagine someone connecting with something that is so core who you are as a person. That was your whole upbringing, your whole childhood. And this person goes, I see you. And that's how I felt in that moment. Like, I was like, wait, you know that, like, culturally, you know this? And that was just, like, amazing to me.
What is the song?
No hay Dios tan grande como tú. No lo hay. No lo hay. And
oh my God!
Would you not fall in love? Would you not?
I'm in love. I'm in love with the two of you.
Loki, I was literally just like, wait, but you know this part of me. Also, if you really know me, you know I'm super faith-based. Like, I love God. God plays a huge part in everything I've ever done.
For sure.
And I felt like for the first time I was in a relationship where I could be like, can you pray with me? And it wasn't weird, you know, and I needed that. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you the craziest story since you loaded that up.
What?
I didn't pray for her the first time. The first time we ever prayed together, she prayed for me.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy. I told her, this is what's going on in my life. It's bad. If once the world finds out, my life is over. My career's over. It's where I was at.
Because you're in ministry.
Yes. And my livelihood was attached to whether people thought I was a Christian or not, you know, or a superhuman Christian, by the way, like a super Christian. And I expected her, and what I shared with her was like embarrassing and painful and all that. And I expected her to go, see, all y'all, you know, I expected her to just go, all guys are the same.
To do that.
And she leaned across the table and she grabbed my hand and she just started praying for me. This is when we're still friends. And I sobbed at that little table. And she just basically said, God, please help this man know that he's not what he's done. And I think even that, like anybody listening right now or watching right now, we need to understand, like, again, if I changed anything, it would change everything. We are not what we've done. We are the sum total of what we inherited out of the womb what we've dealt with in the community that we grew up in, or the church trauma that some people have had to actually deal with. That's a real thing. And yet here we are both years into our life on the other side of that going, all of that wasn't working against us. All of that was serving to make us who we are now. And the evolution that I've seen in her life. And here's what's wild. When she talks about church, for her, it's this beautiful, like, foundational pillar.
It has always been that for me.
And for me, it has as well. And there was a lot of trauma. But that's because I was sort of in the family business of church.
Yeah, your
my
dad
whole
was a
life.
pastor, and I think that changes.
That's a different dynamic for sure.
But that's so weird. I never would have. That's how I know moments like that are God. Because that's not my natural instinct. My natural instinct is not to be like, let me pray for you. My natural instinct would have been to be like,
oh no,
this is exactly.
By the way, I know this about you.
Yeah.
Because your biggest fear used to be when you were dating.
Yeah.
You know what you used to always be afraid
What?
if you were dating, that somebody would cheat on you.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like you had a real
not just my biggest fear, but again, that's attached to my embarrassment and what that would do to my ego. And that's just so like that's heartbreaking. But also because I had gone through that before, my biggest fear was someone cheating, because that to me was saying that I wasn't good enough, that, you know, we all want to believe that like I'm the one for you, and that would be proof that I'm not the one for. I mean, there's so much I've delved into it, because to be honest, it still is a very real thing for me. Like that to me would be the end. Like that to me is like
game over.
Game over. Yeah. So to really believe that and know that, and I've preached that on the reel, and to be that person and then marry someone who has been that, didn't make sense to me at all in my logical mind. But in that moment, I don't know. That's how I know it was God. Because in that moment, I literally reached over and was like praying for him, and I held him, and I was just like, I love you. Like, you don't have to be that. Like, that's not. It's just so wild. Like, I just was like, I love you. I love you flawed. I get that you're so honest and transparent with me right now in this moment. And I get that. But I still love you. And if we can't be the grace of God, what I want from God is grace. I ask for grace every morning. I want that mercy and that grace. I pray that I can be that for, if anything, the person I married, you know?
Wow.
If I could be, I feel like I'm very gracious now.
You're the greatest.
Oh my God.
For real. And I think people that would have watched hours of footage of the reel would think there's no way that would be her take on, you know, something that is adjacent to the biggest fear of her life. Of course, this is before we're dating, but it's also a warning like, hey man, if we're doing this, please know where I stand on this.
Yeah.
But I say all the time, Adrienne epitomizes. Can I say epitomizes? Is there a better word? Adrienne is the example of God's grace to me. Like when somebody goes, what does grace look like? I go, looks like my wife, a lot like my wife. Just because she's the real thing. She's consistent. She gives grace to those who don't deserve it. She shows mercy to those who haven't earned it.
For more episodes, you know what to do. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll see you on the next IRL podcast.